Canadian cemetery here.
To say, you should hear it. Oh, I'm happy to make time for your feelings, but you have to admit I already do. Let's just break it down to you and me uptown, dancing all around till the disco ball.
In 1943, the Germans, they used this river here, and they completely flooded all of the fields all around it. And when we rode down through Revham, you see there's loads and loads of drainage gullies.
Yeah.
This is really sort of like low land. And you can see where the embankment is higher than the land.
Yeah.
So the Germans blew the embankments and then flooded everywhere. And then there's a railway line, which I can't see at the moment. So there was a railway bridge. You see the town in the far distance. That's the town of Troons, which has quite a large bridge over it. So the reason why it was important for us was we had to capture these and blow them up to stop the Germans counter-attacking and attacking Oosterham, and then pushing us back out to sea.
Yeah.
So on the night of the 5th, the third para were assigned to blowing these bridges as part of the other areas that they had to capture. And within each stick of paratroopers, there was Royal Engineers assigned to them. So the Royal Engineers were the guys that did all the explosives, did all the blowing up. And that's where Les Turrell, who is related to me, was attached to. So they came in on Dakotas. They flew out on the night of the 5th, and about 1:30 in the morning flew over the top of the ridge line that we came over. You know, when we came up that hill and I pulled into that road, that road there is the top of the ridge. So if you looked back, you would see all of Oosterham and Caen.
Yeah.
And then we then came down the ridge and then came to that big village. They then flew over the top of that, and there was 4 Dakotas, and they got caught by flak fire because the Germans by now had worked out that there was a lot of aircraft that were flying around. So the flak anti-aircraft gun were on alert, and as they flew over, they fired flak up, anti-aircraft fire, to try and shoot these Dakotas down. One of them got hit and immediately veered off and crashed, and the whole crew and the contents were the men inside were killed. But what then happened is the Dakotas, to avoid the flak coming up, all sort of like separated. So there was supposed to be 3 troops to every bridge dropped. I mean, the troop that my uncle was in, they had only ended up with 2 aircraft, because the other one, fuck knows where that went. And they then bailed out, and they then landed in this field here. See where the tractor is?
Yeah.
And they then, but what they'd not worked out was how deep the water was. So one of the things that they were told...
So they landed whilst that was flooded?
Yeah. One of the things that we were told in basic training...
The Germans flooded it.
Yeah, the Germans flooded it, yeah. Was that all your cigarettes and everything, tuck them into your socks, because they don't bend and crush when you hit the ground.
They do get wet.
So he said the first thing that happened that spoilt their night was when they bailed out or parachuted out and landed in water, they all landed waist deep in water, so all their fags were fucked.
They all want a fag because it's like pressure, isn't it?
Yeah. So they then...
Is that the ridge?
Yeah, it is, yeah. That runs all the way along there.
Okay, yeah.
So what they then did was they then regrouped, but there was only 8 of them out of a whole stick of 20, because the guys had just been scattered over. They were close enough to work out where they were. So they then waded across to the bridge here, and they only had and the mission was to blow the bridge in the centre. So sever the bridge in the centre, drop it down so it couldn't be repaired. They only had enough explosives to blow one of the abutments. So they packed their explosives.
Is it this bridge?
This bridge here. It's this bridge.
Yeah.
And they packed the explosives underneath the abutment there and blew it so that the bridge then dropped down like that.
Oh, I
but they
see,
had
yeah.
to blow this end so that if anybody was coming this way, the bridge would go down and then be faced with abutment. If they blew that end, it would be like that, and you could then just sort of like easily sort of fill the thing in. So when they blew it, that bit dropped down, and that's all the damage of the explosion.
Oh wow, yeah.
So when the abutment blew and the bridge dropped, that's what all these dents are.
Oh, right.
Oh, so when they rebuilt it, they've just reused it,
Yeah,
they've
pulled
just
it
lifted it back
He
up.
said the scary thing was 3 months before they practiced for a whole
There you go,
week.
that's
They
the
blew
plaque
it about- it was just
commemorating
turning
the
light.
guys that David was
By
just
the time
talking
they
about.
sort of like-
So this is the church and the normal
The
churchyard.
reason why
But
they're
you
not
can-
on the top part of the church, on the lower part of the church, is it wasn't because we had troops in
I'm not sure whether you can see, but there's quite a few bullet wounds,
the shells
all
coming
bullet
over the
marks in the
wall.
top, in that middle part of the church.
The church.
The bottom bit's been redone. There's a few down in the bottom bits. I'm not sure if that picks up on the camera.
Okay, so here is Paul in his car and we are all stuck. So if I pan around here you'll see. Oh! There's Paul in his car, and around here you'll see Dave and Tim, and there's the bridge up there. I don't know if you can see it, it's actually going down now, so I better get back on the bike. There's Dave again. And there's back to Paul.
So this is Pegasus Bridge, which is a very important bridge during the war. And basically, there's a bit behind there, which I might run across the road to. So you can see there's 1, 2, and there's another stone further around, 3 stones, which is basically where 3 gliders came in and landed, and that's where they finished up. So they flew in over the top of those trees that obviously weren't there, landed there with a sentry behind here, undetected, and then rushed the bridge. Unbelievable. We're going to wander over the bridge. And this bridge is basically, that fills up with water and then the whole bridge rotates around, and then the main part of the bridge lifts up, the road part of the bridge. But you can see this was an important bridge during the war for them to gain control of. I don't really know exactly history, Dave's just told us that, but I can't remember it all. But fantastic bridge. So that basically is full of water. It all gets flooded in the water. It is amazing. Right, we're going to go over there for a cup of tea, I think. So that is the original bridge. So still similar concept as the one that's working now with that big water tank. So it's basically the same type of thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Does look like.
And that, so that tank there then, Colin, is, what do you reckon that is? In someone that...
Well, I one that some of the apprentices for Cobham helped.
Oh, okay. So this tank was then renovated back in 2013
Sure.
by the apprentices and the guys from Cobham. Yes. That was originally one that was here. So as it said, on the 6th of June 1944 the tank was immobilised by a German gun fire after landing on Sword Beach. And that's Brigadier James Hill, founder of the Parachute Regiment and one of the most experienced Allied airborne commanders. You can obviously read that yourself, so I don't know why I'm reading it out, but and there's a statue of him. So there's the actual bridge lifted up. Simple but very clever bit of engineering. That water tank obviously now filled up. This is the original bridge, which is very similar to the old one. Very similar to the new one rather. This is the actual bridge. Oh look, and there's a glider over there as well. As I said, you can see the road lifting up. And Mr. Bolt admiring the engineering and a big gun. So we are at the ferry terminal, queuing to go on, so I'm not on the car deck. So I'm down below, I think, because there's the bikes. Whole row to yourself, Tim. Whole row to yourself. I know, I've been abandoned. They're all looking at the proper bikes at the front, look. I know. So yes, I don't know, we're early. It's only 3:15. So I don't know how long it takes to board. So made it onto the boat. We're on deck 5D if I forget and I lose my car. But we are on. So all I've got to do is find where the guys are now, and hopefully we can find a seat and get something to eat. That's our expensive lunch. Enjoy.
Only 5.5 hours.
Sandwich. So what's your best bit of the trip been, Tim? The motorways or the...
Definitely a day and a half on the motorway.
Yeah, do you enjoy that?
On an off-road bike.
Alright, yeah, that, with knobblies it would have been better.
Would have been even
So you were a
better.
bit... You were living in luxury on your bike.
No, the whole thing was amazing.
Good.
Very good.
Glad you enjoyed it.
Look forward to the next one.
Right.
Where are we going next?
Wales. So we're on the boat and we are heading back towards England. So we shall wander back. You probably can't even hear me from here. We're going to go back, probably back about 9:15, so we've got 5 hours on this boat. We're going to go something to eat in a couple of hours and then check out what's what. So we want to be first off. I guess the lorries get off first. Back there is France. It's surprising how far it is, and especially when you think about what they did on D-Day, coming across not just all the ships with all the men on board, but all the stuff they brought over for making that Marlborough harbour in Aramosh that we saw yesterday. Just makes you see the enormity of it. Anyway, we will catch up with you later.